They were 2 rounds away from winning their second map, and they went to overtime in the last one, but their backs are against the wall. This is elimination. My name is Butterbutt, and this is Jason Moses in the tool.
How did you come up with that name?
Look, I was like, oh, it's Pokemon. Sadokist isn't a real word. They must want friendly names. Butterbutt. This is how my mind works.
Yeah, you feel good about that one?
Yeah, it's fine, actually. I embraced it.
All right. Butterbutt, thank you for that. Well, look, the nice thing for paiN is at least this is a best of 3. At least it's a series, not a BO1. They've got another chance, potentially another 2 chances to move on, but they've got to win here on Ancient, their pick, which has to make them feel comfortable. Obviously, going to be pretty disheartening, though, because it felt like they had a pretty decent grip on Vertigo for some time.
Yeah, it seemed that way, I think, but that was a bit of an illusion by the fact that they started out on the CT side.
True.
The T side was pretty... if they started T side, they just would have been absolutely wrecked, and we wouldn't have been saying that.
That's a good point.
Either way, we get on Ancient. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, you beautifully green and somewhat dark map, but man, I like you. As Luca already tries to make contact in through Jaguar. No such luck so far, and meanwhile, Pank back toward the stairs, and the ramp on B is trying to spot rather aggressively as he crosses the open site. Very open site, I will say. That's one thing I would like, is that pillar could be knocked over maybe, because it would just get a little bit more cover for planting the bomb. But they're going to try and go for a set piece over top with smoke. Zevi still holding off inside that window position.
Slow played. Ooh, good shot from PGL. That's a loud way to make the entrance, but they're coming through the smoke, and trades are very good for paiN. Bomb is going to be planted. There's a little bit of a gap here, and reels in as the smoke fades. Got to be cautious. Flashbang coming in. No one's peeking with it, though. It was perfect, and not a single person wanted the kill. He does go down eventually, so all is not lost. And a 1-0 start for paiN.
Yeah, very well done from them. Much better already looking from their T side. They were able to get some smokes out and get a set in. And as a result, they'll go up with the opening pistol in the game. Immediately, they're going to bring out AKs. Well, 1 so far, I should say, Hardzao. And then 2 MAC-10s, but a good amount of utility once more. MP9 already for Luca. All right, they're going all in on the T side, or CT side as well, excuse me.
Previous map, they actually saved in the second round, went for the third round rifle buy on the CT side, and this time, yeah, they're just getting right into it. Deagle's picked up, CZ. Set an MP9 also. There's one of your nade drops back to a teammate so he can have use of it as the other player gets aggressive, but there's the MP9. Good flashbangs, gave him an opportunity. Zevi's got to clean up the kill, and Nekas is just desperately trying to save a life. Oh, he's going to get knifed. He's going to get blind knifed. Zevi's done it inside the smoke.
That is sick. I think that's the first knife we've seen this major, in you and I, that is. There might have been some others in the other games I missed, but either way, it's going to get turned around. PGL and Hardzao turn it around and get the kills themselves. That's going to give Zevi a good amount of cash. Remember, he has been on the AWP. Not a bad man to find the knife if you're going to pick one. Smoke down, though. Reels in. Tries to just bust out through it as he jumps from the cave to the pillar, and PGL will put him down in that exact spot. Meanwhile, J and T will rotate from boxes and head in toward Jaguar, Church, Cheetah. Now to dark. We're going Jaguar. I like Jaguar. Shagwire?
No.
Nope. He left us for poker.
Yeah, he did.
I get 1 kill on the CZ-75 to grab the AK-47, and I think that's a victory in itself. He's going to try to get away with this gun because he knows they're going to be pursuing him down ramp. Smartly doesn't confront Hardzao immediately.
I don't know if paiN even want to really try and take it away. Maybe this MAC-10, but they've lost a lot in this round. PGL's going to start investigating. It's all down to timing. Which way is J&T looking? And he's going to be a free frag, and there's the AK back in that. Oh, no, excuse me. Bomb goes off, and PGL goes down. Lose 4 players, but they've got the victory. That's a bit harsh, but I don't think Sharks, I mean, in theory, they could go for it again, but that would be pretty aggressive for the early stages of this game. It's a pretty cool aggressive execute as well outside of the B bomb site, pushing forward in that fashion to net them those kills.
Yeah, I still think there's quite a bit the CTs can do for aggression on this map.
Yes.
They obviously have the quicker access toward middle. And because of that, it makes, unless the T's want to play a retake game or if it, they can get positioned toward Donut, it makes the rotations quite long. So you can definitely get aggressive. Again, it reminds me of Cash in that way. If you have mid control, you can definitely stifle the T's ability to swing.
There's only so long you can hold on to it. I mean, also much like Cass, like when you run out of the utility that you used to take it's pretty dangerous to stick around and be there. Regardless, this round's going to be nice and easy for paiN. They've already taken over the B bomb set and even pushed forward and cleared pretty much everything. All that's left is for someone to grab the bomb and bring it up the rear.
The Let's not get into your personal interests here, Jason. Nekka's already back at the square, smoke down as well toward the back alley. They won't be able to rotate into that very easily, so as such, bomb will be planted. Now they'll go, and it's just a shooting gallery as Nekka's rotates all the way around from first to second alley and finds them. He's just a square dancer. Something you might know about. Well, I guess you're from the northern states. Not
Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of square dancing.
We can do some later.
In my life. I've never actually done it. Have you done it?
No. We'll figure it out. We'll watch
bet
a
Stunna's
YouTube
done it.
video. Stunna's definitely square danced. Are you kidding me? High school
sure a square
prom,
dancer.
that was definitely something you would have done.
Just look at the guy's face. He's a square dancer.
It's just a square. Shout out to Stunna. Love you, bro. Know you're watching. New father, is he not?
Yeah, we can still call him new.
Well,
Newish.
is it not new? Is it? I thought it was like within the last like
I don't know at the time.
couple of months.
I don't know if there's like a yeah.
Yeah, when does new expire for babies, right? According to my like Instagram and Facebook, never, because they just keep posting photos
Yeah.
forever and ever and ever.
Naturally. All right. Well, no mid presence you talked about from the CT side, but the Ts are certainly out pretty quick. Flashbang is going to force him back for the moment, but they were standing and ready to take any kind of a fight. I think one of their smokes actually. Oh nope. I was going to say it missed based off the mini map, but in this view, it's perfect.
Good spot to play for PKL because, again, that mid-presence going to give them something to work with. Unfortunately, Zevi's already taken down. Oh, Boogie's there. I love this. This is sick. If they try and boost above toward that ramp position, Zevi's in a stellar spot, and he can even swing off of this. Has Pillar to his right to watch on Cave. And Luca's in that doorway, ready to go. Molotov, you'll see that getting thrown in toward the Jaguar position. Can easily smoke cover on top of that right now. That'll extinguish, so he doesn't even have to worry about it bouncing too far. And it closes out the cave hole. And they've gone all in toward this rotation as well, losing that one player. They've given up on that mid. PKL's not there, but look at the push to Donut. Reelson's got a lot of real estate toward A, even if they get in. Now, they could, therefore, rotate J&T a little bit sooner, but they don't have enough information as to what's going on at Long B.
One kill here from Zevi is huge.
Shadow.
He's already got the advantage, and yeah, there's the first one. That was nice and easy. He's got so many teammates, but actually, they're kind of cordoned in the same position. It won't matter. It's a slaughter. Nobody from paiN even makes it up the ramp. Good hold from Sharks. All 5 players survive.
Everyone still wants 128 tick matchmaking, and I agree. It's a long time overdue, but I would rather have client-side shadows. There's some third-party programs out there that are great applications. You can still get your 128 fix. 128 tick fix if you need it. Yeah, that one got me there a little bit. Sorry.
It's all
good. But I would like client-side shadows. To me, that's a huge one. And sure, at this level, they learn them and they're aware of them. But it's like you have to go out of your way to learn them and be aware of them, especially for casual players, not
Like-
let alone the pros.
Yeah, I mean, if you get killed in the same peak like 1,000 times, you'll start to put it together.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me look at the sky. Okay, the direction of the sun is this way. It's this time of day on the map, which means I have 1 foot of grace on my short shadow. Okay, got it. J&T, he's going to have a problem because they've already walked in. First time we've seen a straight contact play onto A. 3 smokes down. Now, that is the issue with the A take. You do need to hold a lot of utility just to cover off all of the angles, and they didn't quite get in through. We saw Reelson trying to play the front side of the site, but didn't quite get in through toward Donut to try and stifle the possibility of a split take. They got that covered off, and it's going to make the retake impossible, so they're not even going to go for it on the Shark side, and paiN's going to find a 4-1 lead.
That's a pretty hard setup, I feel, to hold that bomb site. Typically, when you see some of the top teams playing in this map, you know, you have players in the temple position, have players in this corner box, the big box as well. You have like a multitude of angles. You can have a sneaky player kind of bide his time. So it'd be interesting to see Sharks, if they go that route as well, just later on, if this was just, you know, a call for this particular round, or if that's a setup they go back to a number of times, that could be really dangerous for that bomb site. Either way, it's just a straight-up execute, double kill, easy plant. paiN's back on the board. Now, thankfully, because Sharks won the previous round with all the 5 players, they got plenty of money to drop some rifles over, so going to be another strong buy for the defense. For the counter-terrorists.
Terrorists? You forgot your T?
Counter-terrorists.
There you go. Hooked on phonics.
You say it.
Terrorists? Oh, you want me to get the counter-terrorists in there?
You don't ever just, you know, you don't do a soft T at all, ever?
No, there's 5 of them in my name.
I'm going to remember you said that. I'm going to listen to the
I
whole
guess
major.
Matthew has soft T's.
Yeah.
But Trivet.
It's a hard T.
There's 5 T's in my name, bro. I don't mess around. You could almost say I'm the real tea time.
You could say, some would say that, for sure. Okay, here we go. Here's the temple setup. Reels in. Ooh, they're actually going to get aggressive. Mid-round aggression. This is so dangerous. Oh, the ult's going to work. Even scopes in, knows the follow-up. That's a good double up. Nice backup from Reels in to get the trade. His position is compromised, but a pretty tough angle until...
I think that's... Oh, it's perfect. I thought that was a bit deep. I thought that was actually going to leave a slight gap.
Nah, that's been tested. They got that one down perfectly. So cordoned off for the moment by a pair of smokes. The bomb is going to get planted in the closest corner. Some safety finally for the terrorist team to plant the bomb.
Fair play. Good spot boost as well for Hardzak. Gives them an off angle to spot if anyone's going to come in toward that totem. Or that temple, excuse me. Remember, throwing that smoke inside where we did see does mean you have to take the position, donut, this area to get that lineup.
Ooh.
Nekez is back there. This actually works well, though. They've countered it. His Molotov's already been extinguished. I'm sure no, it hasn't. He's got just enough on it. That just means Luka, though, can go to the other side of it. The smoke is plumed on that position, and Sharks, a good retake, considering the amount of execution that went down, utility that was spent to get the bomb planted, but they still had enough. And usually you plant in a position where you do get that lineup, but good smoke to counter the Molotov play.
Yeah, it certainly was. That Molotov was never going to make it work, so they had the lineup if to throw the Molotov, but maybe not to stop the bomb. Some good shooting from Sharks as well in the initial contact and on the retake. 2-4 as they respond in kind and build up a little bit of money on 4 players. So, paiN Gaming's gone 1 for 1 in the pair of A executes that they've just busted out. Ooh, paiN gonna get aggressive. There's the pop flash right around the Molotov. Nekez is hiding inside of the smoke, 25 HP. If paiN sticks around, he's going to be rewarded with at least 1.
Yeah, I think he's a bit close to throw that. And again, pin pulling, you could hear all sorts. But you're right, if he had stuck around, it was a bit tenuous with the Molotov still being down because he couldn't quite get to the corner. But obviously, Molotovs are 7 seconds. Smokes are about, well, a little longer, they say technically, but they start to lose their effectiveness in about 14 seconds or so.
Okay. That's a nice crossfire setup here. We were wondering about Sharks' map pool. It's kind of one of the ideas that we had. This is a cool play as well through the smoke. Actually, this is a really interesting round from Sharks.
But Luka went down despite slipping through. I thought he might be better for 1 or 2 there because he did get obviously behind Nekez, but they've gone to rotate back toward the box position. And they still have Zevi going back down. You're right. This is relentless. Sharks is taking advantage of the situation completely. And once again, we're seeing paiN stifled. Now, I'm not going to harp on them like it's vertical, like they don't have a plan, because we've seen some decent execution so far from them. But this round, they were just caught out completely.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those rounds that if you're Sharks, that's a round that makes you feel good about the future because I mean, remember, they busted out that aggression, I think, in the second round where they're able to get a knife kill and a couple frags here. Now, this aggression just completely shuts down paiN. Even a nice crossfire and a 2 for 0 trade in middle as well. Then they had Zevi follow up with some aggression with the AWP. So that part of the map now, they've shown paiN that they're willing to push forward and they're willing to fight for that kind of control. That'll be something paiN has in the back of their head moving forward into this half as well. Rodrigo Bittencourt.
Just felt like reading his name, did you?
Bittencourt really jumped off the screen to me. I don't know why. I was drawn to it.
Be a good lawyer. Be like
There was nowhere really to go with that.
Bittencourt, Did you get Bittencourt? Hire me. I'll represent you.
Just some cheesy billboard advertisement.
Yeah. I figured you, of all people, the American that like to, profit off of people's misfortune, would be well on top of that one.
Yeah, we all like to do that. That's the thing. Each and every one of us Americans.
Well, generalized stereotypes aside, Jason, we do have a Counter-Strike match going on, and Luka, again, working his way out from Jaguar, is going to hold from boxes. Very tense because he's not sure which way of the 2 to look, and gets dinked up. A little bit of info that they're inside of him. Oh, he's going to kill himself. My God. It's not that bad, man. We can live through it. The panic is unreal.
Oh, that's a rough sequence.
The panic is unreal.
That's...
He gets dinked, almost nades himself, throws a panic smoke, and then leaves a gap in it and dies. All right, cool. Thanks for the M4. That's all paiN Gaming is going to be thinking to themselves because Nekez, has the AK now to work with. Big Yazera has gone down. They've at least got that back into control. But yeah, that was rough.
We should play that as the replay after every single round in this game. Actually, we should just have that on loop.
We've all been there once or twice.
Just call it up. Production, bring up the Luke round.
That is unreal. I hope Twitch chat, you've already clipped that and you're already making your memes.
I hope he's laughing it off. Because it's not the kind of round you want to bust out in a major. Reels in, some trouble heading his way, but 3 Glocks are the first ones leading, so makes things a bit easier. And AWP from Sharks is going to work out. They have a double up setup now, JNT and Zevi with that. And Zevi was beasting with it on the CT side of Vertigo in the previous map, and he's actually started out with a hot hand here, 7-3, and the Ops done some fine work on Ancient.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, we get the other side of it. Fair enough. I thought we were actually going to get the replay of it. I was
back,
stoked.
Go
That's
back,
pretty
production.
sick.
Give
To
us
be
the
fair,
whole thing.
I know it's an anti-ego spray down, but yeah, good kills from Reels holding his nerve toward Donut. Just give him some confidence, build up those kills a little bit. Sits now on 6. That was 3 of them. Meanwhile, Luca's going to try and do a little better this time toward middle. In fact, going down toward elbow. Has a teammate with him. This is another aggressive play, so they're going to stick with this. It worked last time in the gun round. Why not go for more? Safi just got smoked off that angle, or flashed off that angle. If he was a second sooner on that peak, I think he had something on it.
And you could see, I touched on that earlier as well. If you're going to bust out mid-aggression like that, there's a time limit on that. As soon as your utility starts to fade with the various choke points in mid, then you kind of got to back away. So they peeked. They took that peek with the flashbang, saw they didn't have the fight what they wanted, and they bailed out super quick with no hesitation. So
the other side of that, too, though, is as well, you also force the T's to potentially have to use more utility to take it back or to take it early if they want it. And we know how much utility is required specifically on A just to take the site.
Yes, very true. Very true. Okay, some more mid-round aggression, but they're actually working behind him. They've already moved through Jaguar. They've already moved through the murder hole. So this push better have a lot of success to it because they are sandwiched. Rock in a hard place. Nekaz is going to get the first. Peck gets 1, and now backs away because his teammate has secured his retreat. That is a huge kill to get.
Yeah, JNT just bailed him out big time because he was stuck. He did well to get the first kill himself, was still aware there was a threat behind him, but JNT doesn't get that. He's done. He's pinched. Completely gone. And they knew the smokes were still down toward that connector as well, which made it more awkward. But look at this late rotation. How is this? I know it's a 2 on, well, 3. I was going to say 2 on 2. You'd think strength in numbers, they'll play the retake fair. I guess there's no real fault in this, but you'd think you might have someone rotated over toward middle a little closer to this. Either way, they have 3 kits. And they've got the first kill as well. Safi goes down, JNT to find it. And paiN Gaming are in trouble again. Sharks are showing up on Ancient. And again, to be so close to success in this tournament so far, and to find yourself with the back against the wall, this is not where they would have wanted to be. Diffuse coming in, they have the kit on it. He sees it, not enough to get the headshot, and they'll body block, still spraying desperately. Diffuse done, couldn't happen. And Hardzal's got to be careful now not to go down after the time. paiN doesn't overcommit to the push. That's
a very close round, but rounds like that slip away from you and just kind of where you have an opportunity to win them, those start to build up. And if you're paiN, you're going to start feeling that, especially going back to Vertigo. And this is where the pressure of the scenario starts really weighing heavily on you. Elimination game at the major, your map pick. You lost the previous map. Ooh. Would not be jealous of the situation paiN is in right now. 5-4 for Sharks. Off the back of some very cool aggressive decisions on this CT side, Ancient, and they're going to be, they're just relentless with it. Luca's not going to push up the whole way this time. They almost got punished in the previous round, so maybe they're thinking, all right, let's cool our jets a little bit. We've shown a lot of aggressive stances, a lot of our aggressive plays. We can come back to them down the road, but let's play a couple standard rounds to normalize things just a bit.
So Luca gets a little more passive this time, goes back into the cave. Yeah, you're right. You don't want to get too... it's not so much the if it ain't broken, don't fix it mentality. It's the let's not overplay a single thing. Yeah. You still have the options later. You need to keep a bit of mystery and mystique to the game style that you show.
Well, Zevi's actually pretty close up with the AWP peering down the ramp. This netted him a kill previously when paiN attacked this position. They've only got the 1 smoke as well, so even attacking this bomb site, they don't have all the nades and all the utility they would like. The bomb is actually moving past T-spawn right now back towards the A bomb site.
Zevi waiting. That shadow, that's the spot. Easy. Easy. That one's almost too much. Maybe just get rid of shadows altogether.
They need to re-tinker that flashbang that they just used as well, though, because Zevi didn't even get a little bit blind, and it looked like PGL was at least expecting that. However, this was all a fake, all a ruse, and now they're into the A bomb site. The defense got pulled away, JNT's going to try and recover, and actually, he might just want to try and hold on to this position before his teammates arrive. If he goes down, it's certainly over. Hard Zhao's going to grab one on the rotation. Big Uzera's going to find JNT, and the tables have turned.
They have. My house. Safi does at least get Luka back. paiN waiting to try and make this 1v2 work. Try to go for the site itself with a nade to try and get the defuse, but he's lost track of where Safi's gone, and by the time he figures it out, he's already sat and ready with the AK. 5-5, we get tied back up.
Yeah, good movement from Safi in that clutch, but man, it's got to be a bummer if you're Sharks. You feel like you had all the success throughout that round, and just maybe an early cheat towards that bomb site after this kill. You can see JNT's pretty committed to moving towards that B bomb site. He feels the hit coming, and man, was he wrong. 5-5, we're all tied up. Good audible in the mid-round from paiN Gaming.
Boost action. Jump Luka through again aggressively toward the boxes. Doesn't want to stick around, just sees if anyone's there. There's no one, so he wraps back in toward cave. Confirms no aggression to mid, confirms no one at boxes itself. paiN, all right, through smoke, gets Nickers down, and Luka's knowing that they're at that position now, going to go back and put a bit more utility out. I want to see that Luka round again.
Don't we all? Poor guy. Shouldn't pile on, but it was funny. Tucked into the corner for the moment. Again, maintaining presence at B is paiN, but the bomb and the rest of the team is moving towards that A bomb site. Big Uzera's going to get a kill. That's huge. That's Luka over in Jaguar, and now this gets a little bit dicey. JNT's going to have a big job to do. And this is that position we saw in the first gun round for Sharks. This is that setup. One player coming from Donut, one player at the plant boxes. Molotov'd out. It didn't work the first time around. This time, however, it's a double kill from JNT, and that should secure the round. That should be it in theory. 30 seconds. Possible to recover, but it's low percentage.
Safi still holding it. It's JNT down. Big Uzera, meanwhile, finds Reelson. That's going to give them a better chance again. Holding out this site, but unfortunately, still gets planted in. Big Uzera's got Zevi. Now we get the one-on-one. paiN sees it immediately, and Safi had no time to recover, no time to reset. Smoke's dissipated a little bit too soon. And I don't know about you, but my sound is quite delayed, which was throwing me off a bit, but nonetheless, the bomb is being diffused. I will go with seeing is believing, and I don't believe a word that you have to say, Jason.
That's a nice little 1v2 clutch for paiN, especially considering he started the round spamming through smoke and finding an early just blind kill. But boy, Sharks are just barely maintaining this lead. Every time paiN get close, they take it right back. 9 kills on paiN, 8 on Zevi. No one's really blowing up the scoreboard on either team. Pretty close affair. 6-5, still in the favor of Sharks, going into round 12.
Is quickly. Oh, thought it was going to be quickly, but he could hear the Molotovs coming, so he just wants to go for the flash. MAC-10 in. He's got those phase stickers on. They went 3-0. He's trying to avoid going 0-3. And goodness me, a lot of blue in the kill feed. Finally, Safi gets one, but Zevi is there. Sharks looking good. paiN, look, T-side, you could argue, okay, CT side might be a little bit easier still. Again, the utility, we talk about sort of that discrepancy for the Ts and how much is required on this map. But you're playing for your life in a major. There's pressure no matter what side of the map you're on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pressure in every decision you make. 2-round lead now for Sharks. 3 players, actually, excuse me, 4 players headed towards the B bombs. There might be some aggression here. They might want to try and pinch towards mid because Reelson, there's no one at A. Reelson and now JNT, they were at those mid stairs. I think they wanted to set up this play, that aggression with Luka. But they call it off at the last second. I think Luka's probably saying, look, they're already out mid. There's a couple players already made it to Donut. You guys got to get over to the A bomb site. And everyone from Sharks is now rotating, but is it too late?
JNT, close position, inefficient on the first, still manages to follow it up as Hard Zhao comes in from long. They will at least get 2 back. Zevi gets the shot in return. Smoke a little bit late. In fact, Molotov down instead. And I didn't catch if that Molotov actually was to block a bouncing, or was that thrown T-side as well? Because you'd think you'd want vision gone at that point for the take as opposed to a retake rotation. But Luca's going to catch out Biggie Zera. I have seen a few people. I'm trying to think of who. I want to say it was Nico that did it.
Okay.
I've seen people try and
things.
Well, I've seen a lot of things. Trust me, some things we don't need to talk about. But no, like Nuke, right? The outside bounce smoke, you throw the Molotov down on purpose. Yep. We saw it on Inferno when the skybox was open on Banana back in the day. That was sick too.
Oh yeah.
But like, I have seen a player. I can't remember who it was. Throw a smoke or Molotov intentionally inside of the B site to leave vision open in certain spots. So I didn't catch that one that time. I didn't see the setup for it. Either way, Zevi had vision when Hardzow would have wished he didn't.
PKL's really being thrown into the fire on this map, and I mean, you can tell he's just the hard entry player for paiN Gaming. If you go back to watching on Vertigo, he was the one trying to initiate some of the early contact. Same here. This time it looked a little bit silly getting out there with the Tech 9 with no teammates with him. However, 4v4. You'll take that if you're paiN Gaming, but Sharks have a pretty decent setup. Deep lines of sight with these M4s. Ability to fall back and be passive after contact. They have plenty of options still available to them, and only 2 smokes, no flashbangs for paiN Gaming.
Reel's in a little bit impatient. Don't be misled. Those X-rays are much further away on the map than directly in front of that wall. They're over toward the cave position instead. 49 seconds on the clock. Haven't seen too much CT activity toward wood because they're putting so much pressure in cave, but you can play it more passively on this A side as well. Zevi's obviously happy to take these duels with the AWP. We've also seen as he doesn't land that shot, smokes down, 2 get crossed over, but he still swings wide to find one more. Pistol's not going to have much to say, I think, inside of the site. Oh, I take it back. All right, Pank. The point I was going to say is you can actually play this more passively with a player at wood that's just listening for the utility or footsteps on the other side of that wooden wall, but obviously the aggression's been working for Sharks. They still get a bomb plant out of this.
Yeah, this is not a well-played round from Sharks, and now they've put themselves in a tough situation, especially with that M4 being dropped over. That was way, way too aggressive towards top ramp. And this is a chance for paiN to just steal one away for no good reason. Retake smoke going to fall down top ramp. That's going to force a decision, and they both back behind the smoke. That might make things easier. Here's the boost up over it, but they still can't see all the way. Reelsin is going to capitalize on that. Big Uzera going to try and spam, but he's way off. He is so far off. That's a dream. So an opportunity for paiN, but thankfully for Sharks, they took it right back. They recovered from the mistake, and they have got a 4-round lead heading into the last round of the first half.
It almost sucks the other way, right? I mean, you built the narrative right. They were the team that should have had the advantage. They had all the weapons, and they gave an opportunity, but then paiN's so close. Those are the opportunities that swing games so much, and they couldn't close it.
It's that angle from Pack, just at like the right in front of the planting pillar, the default plant pillar, where he's just looking on the top of the ramp. Like, you don't need to do that. You know at that point they have pistols. Just back away. You can give them the plant if you need to, but don't die. Give them a 3-on-3 and a rifle for the post plant. That was actually a very, very scary situation.
Just want to point out something on the HUD that I actually really enjoy. It's easier for us today in this setup. The studios have slightly different monitor setups. Ooh. Nice shot, Luca, through the wall. Good read that time. Making amends for his previous efforts at that position. But I like the gun sort of depletion of white to gray
for
the ammo left over. I think that's really cool. It was tough to see yesterday for me, which is why I didn't really mention it, because I couldn't get a feel for it, but today we're seeing it a little more clear as you guys are at home today in this studio, and it's pretty awesome.
Nice subtle detail.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like that addition.
All right, Safi aggressively pushed up mid. Bombs all the way back in T-spawn, so hold your horses. This round isn't even close to being over because Hardzow is going to have to be cognizant of the flanks and fall back to pick that up. But with mid control, I mean, you imagine he's just going to meet up with his teammates in mid and head towards Donut to attack that A-bomb site.
Reels in, trying to rotate over and give some support on A. JNT is the one that's just elevated slightly inside of that totem position. Shots out, Zevi misses, double peek, he goes down. JNT gets one, but he's traded by Safi as well, who's looking much better on the AWP in this map than he did on Vertigo. Who is Luca giving a chance to Pank because he got one, but not enough. paiN Gaming able to close out the final round of the half. They'll go 9-6, a very workable scoreline. And don't forget, Nuke is the third map, should we go that far. But we've got, I think, still quite a bit left in this one.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what kind of a T-side Sharks are going to have on this, because this is a pretty good first half, all things considered. 9-6. And if you go back to Vertigo, they certainly had the better T-side there. Now I'll be curious with this being paiN's map pick. 11 kills on Luka, Zevi, and everything just changed on me. And Pank. That's the last one.
Yeah, when it swaps sides on you. There was one event where the top was correct, the bottom was wrong, but the colors were still right, and that really messed with me. Anyway, back to mid.
Anywho.
Yeah. Now that you know the real troubles in my first world problem life. So that smoke doesn't go all the way in. It's the single smoke that they want to try and... It's a compromise. I might have been a miss, actually. I think there was 2 down. That was a miss. Okay, I thought it was going to be this smoke where they're trying to cover off as many choke points as possible. It's pistol round, so you can leave a bit of gaps. You're just trying to close the distance with it. But that was just a straight-up miss.
Oh,
so
they're
that's
in trouble.
Important to note, because if that's the way the half's going to start for them, that's going to be worse when the guns come out. But PKL gets taken down, and they go back toward middle to catch out what was a potential flank. PKL, we know he loves to do those. Big Yazira is the next in line at the site, but has to concede the bomb plants. Pank gonna be the one that challenges this by getting very close and stressful. Nice shot from that range with a Glock. Reels in, absolutely annihilates him, but now Hardzow comes in, finds the close player, smokes as well, and they're both inside Donut.
Yeah.
This is a huge problem to cover off that bomb. The good news is, oh, I take it back. Hardzow does have a kit. He can hold this. They're going to. Body block against Glocks. This is done.
Oh, here we go, right through.
Oh,
Hey,
they got him, but he's got the kit in his
got
time. That's a good trade, because they went for the right player. You're spot on. If that was a 10-second defuse, they probably get away with that, but the kit makes the difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, the real problem there is positioning 2 players in Donut with that kind of a plant that's not for you. Obviously, no clue that last player is going to have a smoke, but even without the smoke, that's still a very dangerous position to be in a 2-on-2. So Sharks, a decent enough pistol round and good trades, just out-positioning themselves in the later stages of that pistol round in the post plant.
It was a good read to sort of realize the threat of middle as well. Turned around and stifled that first. So paiN get the second pistol. They've won both now in this map, it's important to note. They did not on Vertigo, but they did win the second round.
Oh, PKL's in trouble. PKL's in trouble. Yeah, Lucas sees that opportunity, and he picks up the pace. He's not letting you get away when he has that kind of an advantage. Sappy's got an AWP already. He might just lose it. Now I think they have to save. With your op at that low HP, looking at a retake, you just say, good luck, bro. Good luck, Big Uzera. We're out.
They'll get Luka down at least as well, but yeah, you're right. Especially when you've got an MP9 that can go aggressively toward it. You mentioned the low HP. Decent positioning for Big Uzera to potentially upgrade on that MP9 as well and pick up a bit of utility. So he'll perhaps even a gun upgrade if he gets a kill, but he'll stick around for that purpose. So Sharks with a good response. Not only is it a really early op buy, but like they went for 1 AK. It wasn't like a super strong T buy either. They went for a bit of utility, which helped them. But look at JNT, like he's already farming up on that SMG. Pank as well.
Yeah, I mean, just honestly, just a cool entry from Luka. Coming up the ramp, he sees where the flashbang is going. He sees when he turns the corner that he's got a huge advantage and that he can close the gap. And obviously, you know, the defender, PKL's defender, was over towards Jaguar and Murder Hole. Like, he wasn't going to be able to fall back and help out. He wasn't going to be able to toss a smoke or a flashbang to give you time. So just straight punish.
And the site has sick potential for crossfire.
Oh, yeah.
Too. So Big Uzera this time, the incendiary over and onto the ramp from his teammate means that they'll lock Luka. And I believe that was JNT next to him in position. I thought maybe they'd push a little bit more aggressively through Jaguar to try and pinch that, but they aren't. They're just going to sit back in the cave itself. It's actually Big Uzera that's there. PKL's gone. He gets removed. Saf gets one. So that AWP, only good for one. Stayed into the rounds, but it's removed already, and Luka does so on the AK, and they've got control of the entire rotations at the back alley.
Yeah, this is a bit awkward. I mean, I hesitate and I feel bad saying maybe they should save again already, but maybe they should save again already. Good kill from Negiz. That is going to actually allow them to go for it if they would like to. It's going to be a tough call to make.
It's Be a very tough call to make at this point in time, as our monitor went black. So I am having a large problem trying to make the call. No, it's back now. We're all good.
We're all good.
It was fitting that you said that.
As soon as I said it.
Yeah, tough call to make. Yeah, very tough. Yep, can't see anything.
Some would say impossible, really.
I was gonna. The funny thing is, it was just because you said that line, I couldn't not point it out. Normally, I would just try and BS my way through that because I would just expect it to come back eventually. But too good. Had to go with that one. There you go, the problems we have in our casting world. But 11-7, Sharks off to a fantastic start of this second half, having, as I mentioned, not winning or not won the second pistol. And
look, these first rounds, Sharks putting a lot of pressure on that B bomb site, and it's nothing sophisticated. It's nothing like it's nothing that they're reading. They're just like, okay, let's just go A, contact it up the ramp.
I'll commend a bit of discipline from Sharks not to overcommit to running down that AWP as well that was dropped, but they let the CTs get away with it. I would have thought you play Protect on that a little bit more, just given the fact that it's such an expensive gun that they invested into.
Yeah.
And Saf got a kill with it. You had him down. He wasn't that far past the back alley. Like, you could have gone toward that at square and actually got away with it. But right now, bomb will get planted yet again. Smoke's, I believe, still down on the site. Probably some flashbangs and a couple of dinks coming through. Yes, I will admit, the monitor has gone by. Let's see.
I was wondering how long you were going to hold on to that.
I was going to try, but I was like, I said smoke's down. I don't know if they're right. Let's see if I can listen. That bomb's still ticking as they continue to wait inside of the site. We hear a chicken. Always a good sign, because if there is a chicken, there's calm. There's peacefulness.
Yeah, someone's chilling next to that chicken.
Absolutely, trying to bait that one out. And it doesn't sound like they're going to be going for this. Presumably that AWP is still in play, and therefore they're trying to save it. At least I nailed that one, Jason, because that's exactly the case. They get a little bit closer to the bomb on A, looking for the exit kills, but they'll run away. In fact, they hold. Oh, no, that's actually significant. The AWP stays alive. PGL PKL doesn't really matter that much. They didn't have anything really invested into the round, but they took one more T player down, so that becomes costly for Sharks. But we go to a 12-7 scoreline.
12-7. Let's see what paiN's going to have with us. AWP on Safi. Rifles around it on the board. And I believe a timeout being called as well.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's probably the right thing to do for paiN Gaming. Again, so close, yet so far in this major, and this is not at all what they would have expected today. You can't take anything for granted in a major, especially, as we say, in these regional rivalries. And, yeah, Sharks, I'm proud of them. It's good to see, because I think a lot of people would have had them on the outside of this tournament.
I did. They're my own 3-pick.
Oh, this is
And I predicted
painful.
paiN to win today, so if Sharks wins, they destroy me on 2 predictions.
Yeah, I would be wrong on the paiN
It's the old
today,
twofer.
see, this is why I don't do pick'ems, man.
Yeah.
No stress. I would be bold like you if I did pick'ems.
Listen, I got no stress in my pick'ems.
I think that may have been technical because they just did a quick medic there as well. So I'm not sure. We didn't get our graphic to suggest that it was tactical, so I'll go with it.
No, I did take a.
You took a stab at
in the
that
dark.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was wrong. All right, 5-round lead for Sharks. And a 1-map lead in the series. Looking to stay alive in this opening stage of the PGL Major. Early Molotovs down from the paiN defense, keeping the attack at bay just for the moment, allowing them to set up anything aggressive. But actually, they chuck the utility and just kind of back away slowly. One player, Donut, is the most aggressive stance taken by the paiN defense. Look like we're going to get a Sharks A exec.
Hard Zao. That's a really open position to play. Spamming the smoke, obviously no tracers. I do think it's a tough position. I'll get into it in a second. He's made the right decision, and that's the more conservative play. Rotate back so you can control your peaks. I do think there's a position that's more available for the CTs to play at that big box in the corner behind right where Luka just looked. Exactly this. He's going to play it now for the takes, but I think the CTs can actually utilize that more than we're seeing.
You'll see it as a ton when we get to some of the more established teams and more experienced teams. That position is occupied quite frequently. That is a psychotic aggressive play. I like it. It obviously doesn't work out. Now it puts his team in a really tough place. 3 players to defend against a 5-man retake, and JNT better be disgusting on his timing. PKL better...
He's got this. PKL's far enough now. He's going to think it's gone. He can hear him running from that close. He is the only one left alive, though, on a 1-on-4. That's a problem because now they're going to be checking everywhere else and expecting that he has gone on the flank, and PKL wise to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of a... You obviously, if you're JNT, don't count on your players going down too fast. But like, you know, you want them to stay alive a little bit longer as you slow play it.
Yeah, if he gets 5 more seconds of distraction there, he probably gets 1 or 2.
And unfortunately, when that next kill happens, he's not in a position where he can really pick up the pace. That was the kill that was just like, whoa, calm down, my friend.
So paiN get 1 more on the board. It's a bit of a... I understand why you do it. You're down 2 men. You've got low HP on 1 player, and you need to do something to try and... Rather than it just be a traded retake situation where you're already down on men, you try to find some counter picks, but it's also such a tough situation to be in that flank. And there's nothing worse than seeing your teammate die and not being in a position to do anything yet, and you're just like, wow, this didn't work. I'm useless now.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yeah, it is a pretty awful feeling. 12-8. paiN looking to come back into this. They don't have a whole lot of money built up. They'd like a little bit more, but they do have a little bit of room to work with in that regard. Just pistols for Sharks.
Sandieri already on the ramp. PKL's going to throw a nade on top of that as well in case they try to rush up and do more damage to it, but they aren't going to do that just yet. Now, this is the wood position that we talked about, but PKL, they've actually sensed that and fired through it. Very spammable, but again, you get a lot of audible cues from playing in that position.
It's always nice to get a little bit of that chip damage, too, down to 47 HP.
I'm surprised. So they have a flash. PKL's got a smoke and a flash. Nekaz was pushed up middle. They know they're getting spammed through that wood. I don't know why you try. Maybe don't even go for double flash over and let Nekaz try and get a peek in that position. He has the support to do it.
Those nades didn't go exactly where they wanted them, but it was a cool idea. Double nade into that corner. They just didn't make it all the way around the staircase. And yeah, now moving forward, Sharks don't really have a plan after that, and they're just getting whittled down. 1 through the smoke. Is it going to yield much? And the other 3 players just waiting for their opportunity to peek in. Deagles could do a little bit of econ damage, I guess, is what you're hoping for at the moment. Maybe you get lucky and you find an opportunity that you might be able to build upon, but nah, not the case. Big G's are up. Final 3 kills of the round. And they're just within 3 rounds of striking distance.
Yeah, they're getting in there now. I mean, they've got a control of the economy. There will be guns again this time for Sharks, but starting to build a bit of a surplus as well, which is extremely important. Double op setup as well. Remember how much Safi held onto that op early on? It was a very big risk to go for it that early when they're down and you're facing elimination, and you create quite a hole to crawl out of, but they've done that now. And double op on this map, I think, is extremely viable on the CT side.
It'll be up to Sharks to take it away from them. And the other thing, too, remember, a lot of the success Sharks had in the early gun rounds was, good aggression, good trade, though, from paiN. Some of the success that Sharks did have was just marching up that A ramp, contact plays towards the A bomb site, an odd timing on a really, really fast pop flash hit. Against the AWPs, those plays are harder to pull off, so Sharks are going to have to develop a different method of success on this map.
So the battle at the box is done. And we come out equal on either side. Oh, this is a good push. Or is it? It needs something to go with it. PKL's on his own. Spamming the door, clean, no flash. All right. Safi's there to at least get the trade, but that could have gone very poor. Now the good news is that's bombed down. And it's in vision, it's easily recoverable. I'm not going to go that far with it, but it buys time, and they know that they have to rotate over to get it. Safi's well aware he's going to position himself in behind the stairs. This boost is so strong. Now, double op is peculiar, but this is why. That's pillar, and I'll get back to this. That pillar with that boost is so easy to line up that shot, almost too easy, and it denies the plant. So you can see JNT shuffles slightly to the left. Thankfully, Luca, therefore, is able to push through the second lane and take down Safi as a result, and they can still make a round from this as JNT fades away. I think that pillar being sort of 3 blocks high means it's too narrow and too tall, because even a smoke on it, you can see the top of it. I know what you're thinking, Jason, but it might be skinny and real short in my case, okay? But it's real short. But it's 3 blocks high. If they broke one off, now you make the cover wider, which makes a little bit more room to jiggle and juke for both sides of the site. And it takes away that very obvious lineup with the smoke. So something I would look into. Nonetheless, JNT holds on to it, and Sharks are able to get the round. But that could have been very, very awkward. I admire Luka's push to make sure that they covered off, knowing that JNT had to shuffle his plant position as well.
I admired Luka just doing a little hop step through that smoke to the op shot of, I believe it was Safi. Yeah, as soon as he takes the shot, just trying to guess through the smoke, Luka's like, I'll take that opportunity. I'll step through and make sure we got a little bit of safety. That boost ain't going to come back again, so good clutch from JNT and Luka. 13-9. Still a double op setup, but I mean, they had to really invest a lot to get into it. No armor on Hard Zao, no utility on Hard Zao. Only one flashbang on Safi. Oh, and he's got one.
Sick.
That's quick.
That is a perfect start. Exactly what paiN need to respond as well, because we just talked about them getting back in with the economy. Now they're on last buy, double op again, and you're going down to 14 rounds.
Would you expect another double op setup, though, if you're Sharks?
I don't know that you would. And the good news is it's Safi that's the one that went aggressive and got the kill. He's the standard opper. So It's not like you're like, oh, Hard Zao's got one. They clearly have 2.
Only one smoke left for this T side, though, so they're going to have to get a little bit creative with how they want to exec upon this. That smoke is on JNT, and he's backed all the way off, and that's a missed opportunity for Hard Zao. Smoke is going to come in. I don't know if it's going to do enough, though. It's just the one, and it's at Temple. That might still give Hard Zao a clear line of sight until the flashbang comes in. Neck has needed something. He's got 0, nothing. And Hard Zao still waiting patiently. Another missed shot. And oh, this is a disaster for the paiN defense.
I think that double op cost them, not because of the economic structure, but Hard Zao just could not hit the shots. What a frustratingly close round for him. Nades going deep as well as PKL tries to recover the second op, but they have to back away from this surely. Hard Zao, he wants to make amends with his misses and try and avenge his own mistakes. Redemption. It certainly would be. They committed to it. Panks got PKL down. He's not even going to get toward that Galil. And I think Hard Zao's done for. Did they spot him?
No, he can't get away, though.
There's no way he can. They're completely surrounded him.
Unless he gets this kill. Ooh, and now they know. And they'll never let him get out after that. They're going to chase him. He's got to work. He's got to earn his escape.
That's unfortunate. What, did he shoot 5 shots? Didn't hit any? I mean, the last few, fair enough. Like, those are scrappy, but the first 2.
Yep. He had his opportunity. He had his chances. For sure. That was a big win, though. That was the good opener that they needed in a 4-on-5 as well. Good win from Sharks.
Oh, that flash timing was just off too, eh? Oh, that would have been a huge difference. Tough angle to find because he already went wide peeking, but yeah, 2 rounds to go for Sharks to screw your pick'ems and predictions and pull off the upset. Missed Molotov going toward middle.
I wonder if the Brazilian community would consider this an upset.
Yeah, that's always it. Like, we sometimes look on paper, and like I say, it's tough for us to read because we see it very differently, but there might be more in that. That's just incredible.
Dude, Reelson was like, I'm out, peace. And JNT's like, why? I'll take this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll take all those kills. Thanks, man.
Fight.
Puts him at the top of the scoreboard as well.
Respect. 19 kills on JNT, 18 on Luka. And Sharks have 6 opportunities to close this map and close the series and send paiN Gaming packing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really expected them to have a deep run in the major per se, but I don't think they would have wanted to find themselves in this position or expect to find themselves in this position today. And unfortunately for Brazil, you know, they're in the double situation because they've lost Godsent already to Astralis today, and This is 2 Brazilian teams. I know we talked about it yesterday, such a fall from grace of what they used to be, winning majors with the Luminosity, Keat Stars, you know, MIBR, SK lineup. But in a sense, there's also more Brazilian teams overall that we're seeing. So the foundation's getting wider.
Yeah,
it's just not as tall.
Yeah. You and your wide and tall.
I don't know, man. Look, okay, it might be a needle, but it works like a sewing machine.
Really stuck on the brain, isn't it? 15-9. No ops this time. They've wanted the double op setup, and they just don't have the ability. 1 minute left in the round, perhaps 1 minute left in paiN's major.
Big Uzira sneaks away from smoke. He'll hold inside of the cave behind the box. That gives him a bit of a peek angle out toward the ramp as well, but that's where PKL now tries to get aggressive. Tense times. This is it. This is all they've got. Flash goes, or rather, excuse me, smoke goes over. You can see the grenades. Shadow, Molotov to cover off Wood. Won't quite go as far. He'll step into it even to find the kill. Nekez supports it. Now we've got something as Big Yazira chimes in. Zevi only with one, but immediately traded. We've got at least one more round in this game.
That was heavily telegraphed. Look how many blue dots on the screen at that B bomb site. I think all 5 players from paiN were ready for that hit. They knew it was coming the whole time. So that's it's the first step forward for paiN Gaming, and now just 5 chances for Sharks to close it out. But yeah, this whole defense, they had success everywhere. And by the time anyone's actually coming up that ramp, yes, looking at the minimap, all 5 players are here, ready to fight. You're not winning that round.
And a calculated decision by Sharks because, okay, all right, guys, never mind. All right, I knew you had money. I thought they were actually going to sit it out for one.
Nah.
They've got tons. I genuinely thought they might. I don't know why I did, but like we built up a surplus of 2 rounds. But yeah, fair enough. All right, bye. It makes more sense.
Maybe just give them one. You're like, that, you know, handicap.
I mean, yeah, I guess. The other aspect of that is if you do it, obviously, you give them a chance to build their economy too, and you want to keep that as tight as possible in these situations. There's plenty of money right now on the CT side. They've all got kits. They've all got decent utility. And we've got the round underway. Luke is going to start his way over towards the B ramp. He's going to go through a Molotov that gets extinguished very fittingly and timingly and gets absolutely cut down. Big Yazira with 2. Bomb as well inside of the cave position. He's probably going to back off that Big Yazira, though. He knows that there's going to be more aggression in that direction. So Bomb will be quickly scooped up and recovered. But what a start from him. 2 kills, 21 in the game now total. And I think that puts him in the lead. Yeah, it does. Way past PGL because he hasn't been nearly as hot as last game.
That initial peak from Sharks looked very slow. I'm wondering if he got like tagged by the flashman that came in. Ooh, this could be interesting. JNT creeping up. Ooh, it catches Hardzowl. Not expecting it, but Nekez was there for the immediate trade afterwards, and Reelzen's going to work his way through the smoke around. Donut never would expect that. There's no way if you're Nekez to expect that one, but they've got to beat Safi here. He's the only defender. Can they do anything to force him off this angle?
You can't possibly lose. Nice shot, Safi. He has held his nerve. Now he hits 21 kills as well. You can't possibly lose a round like this. You can't possibly go out of the major on a round like this. You had such an advantage. Safi! Oh, he's turned it around. Donut is working. Put the frosting on it because 2 more kills in that position. And guess what? He's bailing, he's rotating, he's wrapping, but he does not have the bomb. But it is a one-on-one. AWP versus AWP. Throw the HP out the window.
Yeah, I mean, even that, regardless, like, this is exactly what you do if you're in a low HP one-on-one clutch. Is you've moved across the map, you've made it all down to timing because you don't have the advantage of HP in a fight. Now, Safi's got the information. They called over that he's dinked. He's swapped out to an AK-47, and I mean, this is too long of a rotation. I don't think there's any way Zevi can get into this. Smoke is going to go down on the site, but he has got no idea. Safi's in Donut, and thus ends it. Just like a donut, he almost made you eat your words.
You know what? I love donuts, so I would have been down with that. Either way, that was insanely close considering. I mean, if that's the way they went out of the major, oh.
Was there like a nade that blew up that like slowed down that peak? It just felt.
I think I didn't pay attention to it on the replay. I thought I did see a Molotov come over that actually hit one of the bodies. Yeah, I could have swore I did, but
that initial peak.
I'm sure someone in chat saw it quicker than we did and is probably screaming that we didn't. But you're right. There was something awkward going on there.
All right, 3rd timeout for the Sharks. No plant is really going to hurt any aspirations they have to a bye in this round. So, look, they could go for. I mean, Luca's got enough money if he wanted to go for like a Galil or an AK-47, but they've already done that on Reelzen. And Luca, is just going to get the Deagle and armor. So Sharks bringing a little bit of danger into this round, but hovering between like 2,500, 2,000 on JNT. 4 more chances for Sharks. This is paiN's map pick. If they can bring us to overtime, it would be a 6-round comeback to force it.
Hardzowl holding with the M4 at the boxes. Oh. That is an incredibly fast shot. Foolish with the Deagle, and Luca's going to double it up. Forget his round earlier on. This is his round now as JNT gets taken down by Big Yazira, nearly making that M4 work. It does do a significant portion of damage. They still have the man advantage as well, as Zevi awkwardly gets in another battle. Big Yazira, man, whew, he's coming close to death, but somehow survives again.
Oh, if they throw away those 2 entries, that'd be heartbreaking. Luka's got the M4, but only 19 HP.
This is a good bait and switch. Oh, never mind, it's not. PKL's found the angle that he needed. That box is awkwardly positioned for a reason. Nowhere to hide, and he spots the boost as well. PKL might have done enough to recover it. Luka, the man who started this, is going to bail. He wants to hold on to the M4, and so close again in an unlikely round. Sharks can't quite close it, so we go 15-12.
That is so crazy. I know you don't have the weapons, but man, to get these 2 entries this clean, look how far away the defense is after this second kill. You've got so much time to set up in a post-plant position, and it just felt like none of them actually got into any kind of safety. It's a really good job by Big Uzera. We'll say that. It's not all criticism on Sharks, but Big Uzera handling Donut with great aplomb.
It's a hungry man, sweet tooth. What's your favorite donut, Jason?
The Long John.
What is the Long John?
Longer donut. It's got a
Doesn't have a hole in the
chocolate
middle.
frosting on top. And it's got like cream or custard.
We call it a bow tie.
Bear claw, some people call it, I think.
A bow tie in Canada at Tim Hortons.
No, bear claw's something different. Anyways, enough about
I like the vanilla dip, just
enough
saying.
about sweets.
One with the sprinkles on it, because I'm still a kid.
Those are legit.
They are legit, man. It's because as a kid, I always used to get them as a treat after early morning practice in hockey, so I've just been like, that's my donut. Sticking with that for life.
Go-to donut.
Yeah.
Superstitious man. There's the double nade towards the corner. Nobody's there. Safi does take a little bit of damage, but he's in the middle, right out in the open. Nade wasn't even intended to him, but it still hit him. We saw previously, actually, those nades missed their mark, and I think actually that's what did the damage, is the fact those nades are a little bit off.
It's heavy, very cautious toward the ramp position, even goes back through connector door, but they'll head toward middle. Don't want to give up too much ground on ramp. No one really pursuing it as of yet, though. They are still holding, but they are getting a little more inquisitive toward the cave position. It's actually going to be Big Uzera that's there. Where's Safi with the already taking damage? This time Hardzow makes no mistake. That's the shot he missed last time. Meanwhile, Nekez
first
is
shot
up
he missed
close
last
as well. Yeah, it was. Sorry, excuse me. But I thought was that not toward Donut as well?
No,
It was. Yeah,
it was.
It wasn't the same angle from him, but same position that he was intending to. But he gets it this time. Safi is still rotated back over, but we might get a bomb plan out of this. Rifles as well. That flash. Safi didn't quite go far enough on it, but he did see it on the repeak. And nades out. Good rotation on the flank. And paiN pulling it back late. My God, they left it to the bitter end, but now they'll find 3 in a row.
Yeah, some of these retakes have been very, very nice. Obviously, previously it was up against Glocks. This time's against the weapons, and they still handled it so well. Ops doing good work. 3 kills in total for him in the round. Safi, again, a fantastic vertigo. He's doing it one more time here on Ancient. 24 kills for Safi, 24 kills for Big Uzera as well.
Yeah, Safi's looking much better than he did on Vertigo, where it's, I think, to be fair, Vertigo's a lot more uncomfortable with an AWP. As we look through, interestingly enough, Safi has a better headshot percentage than PKL and Nekez this game, but he's the AWP player. Typically, they're the ones with the lowest headshot percentage.
Yeah, well, I mean, PKL is also the hectic guy going into the craziness, like coming through smokes, pop flashed in, you don't know where they are, so it's sometimes hard to have a high headshot rating in that hard entry role. Yeah,
conversely, look at Zevi, who's the op player on the other side, right?
Yeah.
7%. That's more what I'm used to, like, seeing.
Opper's not known for their headshots. Here we go, round 29, 2 more chances for Sharks. Close out the map and the series. Stay alive at the Major for at least another day. Dropping the smoke to a teammate so he can throw 2 smokes, allow another body on the entrance. And this is Sharks going back to what worked for them in the first original gun rounds, but it's going to be harder against an op, and there's a miss from Safi. He just saw the top of the haircut.
It's not only a miss, but PKL rotated out because they had control of cave. So the single kill and a smoke down, they have control of the site, but they overpush it. There's absolutely no need. I completely agree. Why?
Oh, they're bailing out completely. This is insanity. Big Uzera's going to get a multi here. Oh, he misses the shot. Misses the first bullet. That's not good, but now Nekez is in a good position. He's going to get a multi. No, he misses his shots.
What is
he
going
misses
on?
all of them. Oh, nerves. Nerves are coming into play here, Matt.
It has to be. I mean, they got a kill on a solo op at A that just barely missed. had a great smoke down, and PKL, excuse me, not PKL, he's still around, he's just gone down now, but PKL pushes through and manages to get the kill from it originally. It doesn't make much sense, and yet they rotate back, having gotten the site, and you're right, missed shots everywhere, and they still somehow have the man advantage, but bomb planted, and it is all on to Reelson to close this out for Sharks, and they're looking toward Donut. They haven't cleared yet toward Totem. In fact, the smoke's going that direction, indicate they have no clue where he is. AWP up close, easy first kill. Second just has to play the time, but Hard's out. It's too close, and he's got plenty of time to defuse it. 15-14. Oh my goodness, could we have another overtime on the cards?
Yeah, he put himself in a tough position as well. That's one of those positions where you're probably going to get that first kill, but you got nowhere to go afterwards. It's just stand your ground and hit the shot, and unfortunately, he missed it. Look, both these teams, unfortunately, Sharks is out of timeouts, and there's no reason for paiN to call one. But if you're Sharks, it's like, all right, guys, everyone calm down. Everyone breathe. Everyone just get focused up again. Some crazy, crazy things are happening. Look how that round comes down to a 2-on-2 and then a 1v1, and then you're saying, I wish I could take back me jumping through a smoke at the B-bomb site.
Yeah. If you were that confident no one was there, you wouldn't have needed the smoke in the first place. Well, lots of utility expended early to try and take over some mid presence as well as boxes, and Nekez is the one that has gone aggressively down toward the bottom of middle. He's going to go back up. This could be an exchange.
What a bold position to play by yourself.
Hugely. I mean, PKL doesn't have a lot of, oh, no trigger. Oh, he's got away with it. That flash actually was much better than I thought. It looked like it went very high in the sky and therefore was too deep. But paiN, a massive lead, 4-on-2. And Pank's trying to wrap back around. Saf has him. And as Safi gets that kill, it's just JNT. And I think, Jason, if I am not mistaken, we have another overtime game on our hands.
Man, it's that previous round. It's round 29. That's the one. That's the one that Sharks had completed. And just unforced errors. And Sharks can't close it out. Look, that's 6 rounds straight for paiN Gaming at the end to bring us to OT. Fair play. In those 6 rounds as well, 3 defuses, 3 retakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got the sites. This round, okay, fair enough, it was a late plant and there wasn't a lot to go with, but the previous round seemed... With that kill on Safi and the situation, I was like, that's
a gift. Like, it has to be.
Well, it's the other way around now because paiN Gaming were the ones that were trying to crawl across the finish line on Vertigo, and then when overtime hit, it seemed obvious that Sharks were winning. Now I'm not so sure. It's not so much that Sharks haven't had good moments in this game on either half. It's that they fell flat, didn't close it, and paiN has actually come alive. I think they've looked better. They're the ones that are developing into this game as opposed to Sharks falling out of it. So Zebi, a quick and aggressive play. Molotov down to cover off anyone that wants to push through cave, and Big Uzira is on the other side of it as he sits at Jaguar. Puts a smoke out himself, but not going to really act on that, just trying to contain his opposition at this point. How many smokes left CT side? Just 2. Zhao and Nekez, that's 2 B players.
Oh, God. That's a lot of spam. That's a lot of damage on a Big Uzera. Tuck yourself into a little corner. Don't be exposed to the bullets through wood.
And cry.
Fetal position.
Well, he's on the AWP now. I think that's probably why.
Yes. But look what it's done to the defense. No one's actually in the B-bomb site.
Yeah, there's the 2 smokes they have are both on that side of the map as well. They have no real defensive utility anymore on A. And man, you can drop smokes now, run one over and throw them at it.
They've smoked off Donut. This has forced both defenders in Donut and at the A bomb site to drop their smokes to delay things. It's even kind of starting to pull Big Uzera into a position where he can rotate to help out in mid. This means there's only 2 defenders now, and again, they're not in the bomb site. They're going to get smoked off. They're going to get blinded, and this is going to have to be a retake. And remember, Big Uzera can't take a straight bullet, but here comes that boost again.
Yeah, it's so strong. Oh, it's so strong, and not only that, Big Uzera's found Lucas through the smoke, which was the only man that was looking for it. They planted safely, far and wide, so that they couldn't get caught off by that boost, which was a good read by Sharks. But now they've got to hold this at a 4-on-4. 30 seconds left on the bomb.
No nades.
Reelson will get up behind the stairs, and you're absolutely right, there's no nades. For anyone, they've all been used. We saw how much utility, I mean, you talked about how it was forcing rotation. Zebi's gotten 2. Watch out for the flank, though. Neck is coming in from B. He's got 2 in front of him. Easy trigger discipline because he would have heard JNT jumping and makes no mistake on it. Now they have the advantage, but Reelson has the AK, and he held the whole time. Finally, Sharks get the round. It's 1-2 late, but it does give them the advantage in overtime.
I hate to focus on the negatives, but there's the pressure it is getting to some of these guys. No one watching that flank. 2 players. in that room and none of them turning around to watch Jaguar, to watch Murder Hole. That flank could have been everything, and it almost was. But then on top of that, you look the other direction, and it's even the op coming into the bomb site for a 2-on-1 to get to defuse, and he's got his knife out. No one's paying attention. So, man, this is getting scrappy down the stretch, and sloppy Counter-Strike, but it sometimes turns into exciting Counter-Strike. Fast mid-take, good kill from Luka in the opening.
Murder squad in middle, firing to that smoke that goes up toward top middle. Biggie Zero is tagged. They know he's here. They do get the trade. It would have been obviously preferred that Luka just got it clean, but at least it opens up a bit of space for them.
We normally don't have to touch on this anymore, but with the 10K overtime rules, if Sharks are to win this round, the final round of overtime for the CT side, they will be fighting with nothing, with upgraded pistols, maybe a shotgun or an SMG, but it's not going to be pretty. So paiN have to play this where if they get out-positioned, they have to play to save this, which we haven't had to see in overtime for quite some time. Molotov's down to slow things. Sharks pressuring for an execute, and that's pulled the A defender away. This is great. JNT's actually in Temple already. I don't know if he saw the donut player. He glanced over, but it might have just been X-Ray. Now he can cut off rotations in towards CT spawn, but so can Safi.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a problem, though, because he's stuck up there in that top middle room right now, and Pank spotted him.
They have no idea what's going on. paiN.
I don't either, Jason, but that's just my life in general.
They do now. They can hear the footsteps. Hardzow's calling it out, but they know there's one player in mid to still deal with. Now they know there's one player in Temple. The bomb is going to get planted. They can't stop it, and Sevi's got a deep angle with the op. Ooh, this is uncomfortable for paiN. They might just lose everything.
Pank trying to get close. Shut down the gap. Hardzow's lost track of where he was. He didn't think he was that close. Missed shots again, but still manages to hold his nerve with the AK.
Run.
Safi managed to get away from it, you're right, but it was called he was leaving middle. He could only go to one connection point,
Yep.
and they had the ops staring directly down at PKL's out. Mig6 bugging out and going home. And it's going to be 17-15.
And this is going to be the only real weapon they have in the next round. Although, fair play, 8 seconds still to hunt him down, plus a couple seconds after the time. PKL's going to plant himself in the corner in the water. He's being hunted. He's being chased down. They're relentless, and they're going to get it right at the end. Oh, that's crushing. That was one of the few rays of hope that paiN Gaming had to hold on to. And look, 2,400 on Safi, the Alper, 2,400 on Hardzow. Nekaz has the most at 3,800. This is not a pretty situation to be in.
It's not. Let's see if paiN can maybe try and replicate a little bit of that early aggression we saw in the first half from Sharks on their CT side, though, because if they can get close with these SMGs, I wouldn't be surprised if they could pull off around the way that this game has gone so far. Safi, Big Yazira setting up a crossfire in toward Jaguar. So that gives the SMGs a little bit to work with. And that makes it a little more awkward. His teammate at least bails him out by extinguishing the flames, but doesn't stick around for the crossfire. Tries to bail out of it. Awkward from both sides. He's going to go in with a knife. We might get a second one in the series. Safi responded. He expected it, and Pank goes down. A shiv to the side of the gut. Thank you for your appendix. I will sell that on the market later. But for now, it is still going to be a 4-on-3.
These guys are crazy. Imagine that being how you play in a situation in overtime.
Oh my God.
Double kill. Oh, JNT gives up his position. I don't actually think that Nekaz knew he was there until the smoke came out, and then he was like, oh, okay. Split up, though, and Big Uzera only goes 1 for 1.
Nekaz is giving away his position quite quickly, but no bomb plant yet. No bomb plant at all, perhaps. Famas wins out against Real. I mean, sure, yeah, that pillar's a tight position to play, but gets caught with utility out of all things when he could have just taken the clean duel. Nekaz going to go around, rotate, knows that bomb's down, and obviously JNT's got to come this direction. But he's looked away at the wrong time. Oh my God. We could have had a close game, and now it's wide open. Sharks 3 rounds in the lead.
Oh, no.
Just want to point out that also means paiN Gaming has not won a round in overtime yet.
Yeah, they got blanked on Vertigo, didn't they? Heartbreaking. And you mentioned a couple close losses as well in the 2 games leading up to this series.
That's crazy.
I don't know. these 3 rounds of overtime we've played, and perhaps the final, like the last 5 rounds of this game, have been so scrappy.
This is when I get to have fun and go nuts, but you as the analyst is like, I don't know what to say. Henry used to hate this. He'd be like, man, what am I supposed to do right now?
I'd tear my hair out if I had any.
You can tear mine out, sweetie.
God bless. Oh, didn't even miss a beat. Here we go. Second half of overtime underway. Sharks just need 1. That's all they're looking for. And they did a I mean, obviously, solid job on their CT side. Let's see what they've got in store for us here. 1 AWP picked up on Zevi. Safi's got his as well. This is new. I feel like we saw paiN get into this position, but not really actually push forward to pressure it at any point during regulation. So this might be a new look, although the nade work gives it away. Molotov to ensure that they cannot split towards the A bomb site, and yeah, that's a low percentage fight to take.
Well, it's given the advantage again to paiN. I shouldn't say again to paiN on this first half, but that's immediately nullified. It's Luka's. I like how we just went with Luka. Lukazi, I was going to try at that time. We still don't really know, but he gets the kill in return.
Luka's he's a big-time player at the moment for this team in overtime. He's had some very, remember those 2 deagle kills as well towards the end of regulation. This has opened up PKL for the flank, though. It's a nice position to be in. Doesn't even need to necessarily flank, because JNT might just walk into him. Good kill from Luka. Oh, he continues. Even the dink onto Hardzao. And reels in left quickly alone in a 1v2, potentially for the map.
But Hardzao, very low HP. 7 right now is the one that's holding the bomb. Fortunately, they've got enough space. He should be able to get that down. And Reelzen's still not sure where they are, because he's still closing out on these corners. That's going to buy a bit of time for paiN Gaming. Smartly, they're going to split this up a bit as well. Now, they need to play the trade. They need to actually... I'm surprised they're going this far with it. Hardzao needs to play in a position where he can actually almost get the information. So he's going to rotate around and get closer to PKL at this point in time, which is the right call considering he's got to be the one to go first, and he's got to get traded. Oh, the lineup, that wouldn't be what they wanted, but he does get away with it in the end. Reelzen only managing the 1.
It's a good thing he actually got out of that murder hole, because you're right, that would have been double up territory, especially considering only 1 bullet would have dropped him. Could have been from a teammate or his opponent. Good win for paiN. Now Sharks in the same situation. If they go down here, if they're to lose this round, their 3rd and final chance in overtime is going to be with some pretty weak weaponry. I think it was, what, like 3 SMGs, a FAMAS, and a pistol for paiN Gaming in the first half of overtime. Timeout called from paiN. They've actually only used 1 in this whole map. And they had that 6-round comeback. Sharks are all out.
Yeah, I mean, paiN's almost all out of this event, but Sharks, you're right. This 10K overtime, forgive me earlier, because I thought just in my head that you said 12.5, because the way, I don't know, the way that it's been discussed.
You said
again lately.
12.5.
I know, you did say 10, but I was registering it as 12.5 because I was, it's just been a topic I've seen brought up a lot lately, and I do wish that we would have gone more that route. I think Dust 2 is the biggest issue with the 16K overtime in general, because obviously you could spam auto snipers and ops down middle. That's less of a problem now. What is a problem for paiN is that they've lost the opening pick, and on top of that, Reelzen's going to do some more damage with utility. Hardzao just gets tanked by that nade.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Reelzen throws that smoke after he gets the opening kill, and it's a bad smoke. It's way too deep, and then it's a bad follow-up decision, re-peeking into the off, and this is causing this aggressive play that looks so good for Sharks in regulation to look real ugly. They've lost a lot, and this push from Pank is surely going to get punished as well. You're never going to clear this. Ooh, are you? You do. You do, and you're ready for the follow-up, but you can't connect. JNT, 1v2, but he could have a real quick timing on this flank.
JNT. Justin Nicholas Timberlake. I don't know if that's his middle name, but
It's probably not any of his names.
it's all on him right now because, as you say, money becomes the factor. $1,200 residual for him, and a 1 versus 2, both low enough that the M4 is a huge factor. Would position AWP. Gun barrel could show if he's not careful. He's spotted instead. Biggie Zero gets the crossfire. paiN Gaming's right back in this, and with 1 more round, we'll get double overtime.
The big question is what can they actually fight with? What are they going to bring into the battle? M4 on Luka, FAMAS on JNT. I mean, they've got a couple more rifles than paiN had to play with a few rounds back, so it feels like it'd be a better chance. No kits across the CT side.
Nade out aggressively again from Luka. He's going to put the smoke there as well and push his own position. Spaying it. He's got to be careful. PKL's there. They're not going to push back through it. It would be just as risky considering Luka could have a teammate supporting his position, but as we know he doesn't, and as such, I think both teams will back away. They're aware of it. His shot's slowly fading.
4 players here for paiN. It looks like for the moment they want this to be the end game. It's just, yeah.
I was going to say, that's a risk as well to take the M4 any further than that too, because that's the best rifle. Well, the M4A1S as well, I suppose, but that's the best rifle they have.
What? They both have nades out. Ooh. There's a lot of crazy aggressive risks that Sharks are taking. They're going to win at least the first battle.
Oh my God.
And the second one, that's the bomb. This could be the map. All off this risky push. Risky picking up the weapon, and he's finally punished. Luka, I can't believe he's sticking around.
He was within a half a second of being able to fire that AK, and his crosshair placement was there. The gun just wasn't ready. Safi, meanwhile, takes down paiN, but Luka stays. You're right. That's huge. Doubling the flash in. Luka backs. He's like, we didn't get the kill. Zevi gets stuck, and he's like, screw it. I'm doubling down. And he runs out with the MP9. All right, bomb does get planted. However, Luka is locked. He has a problem because he's stuck in cave. They know he's there. Hardzow's going to watch it. And if he tries to go back for the retake, Hardzow's ready to get the kill. I'm not even sure. Oh, he's smart enough. He's wise enough because they've heard each other a while ago, and he's aware. So that exchange is one thing, but Safi snuck in behind. Meanwhile, Reelzin is really the factor at this point in time as he's got to work no kit on either. Exactly that. They've got 5 seconds to get on this bomb. They tap it. It's not going to be enough. This is going to go to double overtime. Flash out. Safi peeks. Done. Call it. 18-18, double overtime. They're just getting that much closer to heartbreak paiN. I mean, how many ways can you lose games? Well, still in this one. Perhaps they can force out map 3. Nuke is still waiting by, but Sharks, again, we just finished saying that paiN got blanked in overtime. They just did the same on their CT side.
Yeah, but this one feels a little bit different. paiN got blanked and rocked in their overtime, but it felt like Sharks actually gave up more advantages. It felt like they actually got themselves into positions to win the round, win the map, win the series, and they let it slip away. You know, just like some of the risks they're taking are paying off miraculously at times, just not enough to get them over the hump of actually taking the round. 22 is now the magic number for you lovely viewers at home.
So, Molotov down in front of JNT.
6 Molotovs down.
All right, listen, mister, I know everything that's going on. I meant what we were looking at, okay? What, do you think you're God
I
or
wasn't
something?
correcting you. I was just letting you know. Just saying.
All right, it's fine.
6.
JNT with the counter incendiary. That went deep. That's going to prevent them from going to the box. Like, they're still going to rush forward. Look at that smoke gap as well. They're going to push through it. JNT's blind. Gives Nekaz the chance for the kill, but Reelzin realizes and comes back around. But unfortunately, realize. Jason, and the nade will take him out of the round.
Oh, they're waiting for these peaks as well around the smoke. They're waiting for these follow-up fights. This is actually kind of cool from paiN. They've hit the brakes, gotten a little bit patient, knowing Sharks have been very, very aggressive in their decision-making. What do you do if you're Sharks? It's so quiet. All of a sudden, there's the glimpse. Zevi with the first kill. Doesn't realize they're so close beside him, but no one from paiN wants to risk coming in towards Temple. And yeah, with this much quiet, I guess if do you think maybe they've fallen back? Oh, this could be perfect from Zevi. The timing, though, he's looked away.
Nekaz 13 HP, easily collected upon. Back to a 1-on-2. AK picked up. Knows that one's obviously inside of Temple based on that. Second nade came over from further, so he has to be to the left. Unless he thinks it's the same person that threw it from the stairwell. He's going to clear. Molotov thrown out. They know he's coming from Donut. Hard's out does not need to overcommit to a peek too soon. Smoke's going to go down on top of the bomb. They'll have to check it. It plumes quite well. It covers off a bit to his right. Does Hard's out peek it? I can't quite see his position, but he's not going to. They have the lineup. He's holding it anyway, but just barely. Safi finds it. The two of them together, surely you'd expect him to go down.
Yeah, 60 bullets. That guy's going to be found inside the smoke, and paiN Gaming take their first lead of any of the overtimes in the series so far. 19-18, one round up.
I did say this is the room that I was in for the 78-round game. We've had overtime both of these maps so far. Jason, should we just like switch studios? You know, make sure this ends today, because this could go the distance.
Yeah, you might have cursed us on this one.
That's the room. I just finished saying, why are you blaming me?
Because if you didn't bring it up, it would have never happened. Safi's going to burn down to 75 and back away.
JNT holding out this time. A little bit closer to the entry of Long A. That's one push we haven't seen, and I understand why. It's a lot further to go around the perimeter of the map. You typically see this, Reelsin getting up in toward Donut. But we haven't seen anyone from the defensive side push that long position and try and go for that huge flank. And mostly because you're already past a choke point on the B ramp, and you're just going to retake mid the same way from boxes. So it's not as relevant, but it can still get you information at the very least. Luca, bit of spam. PKL middle was he? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, was he about to get picked when he was looking away toward top mid? Still found the kill. Safi's got Zevi as well. paiN Gaming rolling again. Now, Sharks are gonna be the ones under pressure because they could lose 2 back-to-back, and look at the money. Worth noting as well, so far every single round in overtime has been one on the T side.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Which is interesting because they actually had some pretty decent CT sides in regulation. Pack getting spammed. He knows he's got players coming up the ramp, doesn't know where to look and when. And this round's going to fall flat again unless JNT,
no,
excuse me, 1v5, needed that kill.
I think if he knows the Opper's low HP, he doesn't swing that wide.
Yeah.
Safi gets away with it, but he was one shot from dead as well. It would have needed to be an ace either way, but that was a good effort.
The last two players were very low health. The other remaining player after the Opera was low on HP.
Timberlake was better solo, Jason. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fair point. 20-18. Final round of the first half of overtime. Or first half of second overtime. It's getting complicated now.
Yeah, a little bit. We're somewhere in the world of the score.
Ooh, using his own Molotov to try and peek over.
No.
Yeah, this isn't ideal. All the aggression. And look, I don't even blame him for trying it. Obviously, the desperate weapons.
That's a good call, though, because he knows he doesn't get a headshot, but he's done damage, and they have an SMG. Run him down. That's an AWP. Bait out a shot. He's dead. He's done. That's actually pretty good recovery.
It's not a recovery
Super
yet.
unorthodox.
Oh, now it's a recovery.
And Reelsin's just done damage. Oh, good shot from Hardzow. I was going to say, that could have been collected on. And it is JNT going solo once again.
This could be so god tier. JNT actually made this rotation so quick, he jumped it preemptively.
Oh, he's in. Hardzow didn't see his head. He's got this. Bomb's coming. PKL straight duel, and JNT pulls off the only CT round so far in overtime. And I know that was crazy to go through with the deagle he committed, but it was the follow-up with the SMG. That's balls.
That's desperation is what that is. Either way, 2-on-5 converted into a victory with a stellar decision-making and a great 1v2 clutch from JNT. 31 kills on JNT, Matt. 35 on Safi and Big
Yeah, I mean, everyone's getting up there now, right? Everyone's above 20. We've had so many rounds, 39 rounds played. We jump into round 40.
Maths.
It's our... Look.
I got yelled at earlier, that's why I did it to you.
Yeah, but you and I are the North Americans.
True.
And we just agreed to
You're right.
Stuff it to
That's
them.
bad form on my part. I take it back.
Yeah. Although I still say Zed in Canada, so sorry.
That's fine.
I also say sorry in Canada.
You say sorry.
Eh?
All right. Let's see what Sharks have on this T side. Matt mentioned earlier they did blank paiN in the first overtime. 3-0 on their T side. The spam has done good damage, and it's done it again, this time to PKL, down to just below half HP.
Shots back through from Wooden again. PKL's up close. This wall position is actually decent as well because it's a hard one to cover. You've got 4 angles you get to before that. So you got to be careful not to be too close, not to have a shoulder show or a big shiny forehead, Jason, as paiN gets taken down.
That's a very risky way to go for an entry kill. Through the smoke, up the ramp. Have to recover now. 4v5. Running low on nades. 2 smokes, 4 flashbangs, and a Molotov to use for the rest of the round for Sharks. And I think losing that player towards A ramp, they were like, all right, we'll go elsewhere. We've been forced away. We've lost that battle. We've lost any advantage. So smoke towards Donut, smoke towards the mid stairs has given them control and safety in mid. But that's both their smokes used just to get this control. And how do you get where you want to go next?
EWP very passive, finally seeing that top mid room come into play. Haven't seen it a lot all match, to be fair. Safi has one, falls away. That brings Zevi in to the crosshairs of Zero. JNT only good for 1. Nekaz responds, so paiN Gaming find 21 and map point again.
It's triple overtime or it's a third map. And look, fair play to paiN Gaming. They had, what, 6 rounds in a row to force overtime, and then they had to win 3 straight in the second half. They've essentially been on the verge of elimination in this major for 9 rounds in this game so far, and they survived all of them to get to this point.
And if I'm not mistaken as well, they've only had 1 map point themselves so far in the series. This would be their second. It was 15-14 is what they got to on Vertigo. Zevi, he takes down Big Yazira. Sharks not going to let this one go easily. 21-21, we do it all again in overtime. Safi was looking for someone toward the bottom of the ramp, but Lucas Zero. Lucas, I'm just going to go back to Luca, all right? It's getting late in this game. But he's got the kill instead. I was like, Lucas Zero? What, Cold Zero? What?
Yeah, everyone's a Zero in this server. All right, hit the brakes. Get picked off by the op through a wall. That's the wood wall.
That absolutely was, yeah.
Banged out. Gonna go for another. Why not test it? Luca's got a kill on the other side of the map, and that means Reelson with the bomb is gonna press the issue into the A bomb site. And they've got the money. They can go for it. 2 on 4 in probably a post plant, although it's a little bit slow going down. We'll see what paiN can bring to the table.
PKL does get 1, make it 2. Swings in, clotheslines. Luca, paiN Gaming. They want to make this retake work. Was a 4 on 2 when the bomb went down. That quickly changed. There's still 27 seconds left on the explosive device.
Oh, that smoke gives him the cover to just hold the Molotov. That's brutal.
And it goes now, but that's still pretty early. 18 seconds on it. You'd expect that to be a tap.
It at least lets the smoke disappear. So he's bought himself time to clear his vision.
PKL on it. This time they're going to hold. Oh, they've got to peek this. They've got to go. He has. He puts him down 1-on-1, and JNT knew exactly where Hard Zero was. So immediately we have another round, and a very close one at that for Sharks.
And remember, he had the huge 1-on-2 clutch just earlier to keep them alive in this game as well. He's delivering in the clutch moments for Sharks down the stretch. One more chance to force a triple, a third overtime. paiN's got plenty of money. Finally, a third round on the CT side where you're not just destitute. They've got a double AWP, full utility, 3 kits. And we're underway. Default spread for Sharks to start the round. 3 towards B. And 2 players passive, looking for mid aggression, looking for A aggression.
Luca well aware of the aggression that's gone both directions through the Jaguar position. Will sit back and make sure no one is even going to get that close. I do like how this room's been quite intricate to the play on this map because it's not a mid and it's not directly a connector to a site.
Yeah.
It's a connector to a connector, if you will, and yet it's such a point of contention.
Connector squared. That doesn't make sense. We'll never do that one again.
Yeah.
2021. Just under a minute remaining in the round. Sharks give up that default spread, bring 2 players back towards B. 3 players up the ramp, ramp 2 coming through Jaguar to split into this site. Where they need to control. PKL is going to be first up at the top of this ramp. He's jiggle peeking for the moment. Dropping. Ooh, he hasn't dropped the smoke. Now he's going to do it. He knows it's coming.
Boost? Yeah, I think Sevi wants to go for the boost, but it's too. That smoke's actually really well placed. I don't think you'd see it
30
at
seconds.
all. PKL backs away. Shot through. Pank's found Big Yazira, and they jump out. PKL's left in the open. He's got to get back behind the stairs. Does so. Buys himself some space from those coming up the ramp, but not from Pank himself, who finds the kill. Savvy, one back. Had a good game so far compared to the start that he did have again on Vertigo. Seems ages ago now, and he follows up on Zevi. That bomb? It didn't get planted. That's incredible. Safi and Hardzal find the kills. paiN Gaming find the map. That bomb goes down. Fair enough, the second kill came through right away, but that might have been a little bit different in terms of how aggressive they want to be. paiN Gaming survive, and they finally get themselves a map in this major because, again, they've been so close on so many occasions.
Yeah, it's good to see him actually get through with that win. I mean, like I said, that